For decades, our entire relationship with computers has been defined by the physical act of typing and clicking. But the hardware and interfaces we rely on to do our work are fading away. Venture capital has spent 20 years and billions of dollars optimizing this human-computer bottleneck. This is the software as a service, or SaaS model. Companies build beautiful web dashboards with highly optimized layouts and then charge a monthly subscription fee so human employees can sit at desks and click through them. But the most successful startup accelerator on Earth sees an end to this cycle. Y Combinator, the firm behind Airbnb and Stripe, has issued a stark warning to founders. The era of building billion-dollar SaaS companies is over. The shift is driven by the AI agent. These entities are built from 3 specific components: a reasoning model, a set of tools to interact with files or APIs, and a set of instructions to guide their decisions. These agents do not have eyes. They do not care about a carefully designed user experience, and they cannot interpret a colorful dashboard. Because the machine is doing the work instead of a human, the massive industry dedicated to selling graphical interfaces to people is facing extinction. When an AI agent tries to use traditional software, it breaks. Agents struggle to navigate human-centric friction like onboarding flows, multi-page drag-and-drop menus, or dynamically loading visual buttons. To solve this, developers are pivoting to an API-first business model. An API, or Application Programming Interface, is a way for 2 computer systems to talk directly to each other. Now, entire companies are being built exclusively to provide these invisible data endpoints for agents to query. Instead of a person logging into a website to format a report or check a database, an agent uses a service to grab an image of a web page via raw code and then hits another endpoint to instantly distribute that image via email. No menus, no clicking. This creates a harsh reality for developers looking toward 2026. If a software product requires a human being to physically log into a web application to get value out of it, an AI agent will simply route around that product to find a raw API that does the exact same job. Early attempts to connect agents to external tools relied on heavy middleware. Every time an agent needed to use a tool, it had to load massive instruction manuals into its context window, its short-term memory. This caused severe memory bloat, rampant authentication failures, and expensive computing costs. To fix this, the top AI companies are actively abandoning these bloated protocols in favor of a much older technology. Perplexity, the AI search giant, recently announced they are moving their internal agent workflows away from standard middleware. They are replacing it with command line interfaces, or CLIs. On the left, we see the old method, an agent tangled in a bloated, multi-step authorization path just to read a file. On the right, the CLI approach, a clean line of text commands sent directly to the software's backend. By connecting directly, the agent bypasses the interface entirely. It skips authentication loops, avoids filling its memory, and receives perfectly structured, machine-readable data instantly. The command line terminal is the oldest, rawest form of computing we have. It predates the mouse and the desktop operating system entirely. Yet by bypassing modern user interfaces, it has become the native language for the world's most advanced artificial intelligence. A direct connection to software is powerful, but true autonomy requires a proactive heartbeat. This is a programmed loop that allows an agent to wake itself up on a specific schedule, check for new data, and begin working without any human prompting. To prevent the agent from repeating mistakes every time it wakes up, it gets paired with a persistent memory system, usually a dedicated SQL database. This allows the agent to read its own past logs, recognize behavioral patterns, and adapt its strategy over time. We are already seeing this in production environments. Developers are setting up agents that wake up overnight, run hundreds of specialized research experiments or compliance audits, check the results against their memory database, and iterate until a problem is solved, all while the human sleeps. When a machine can proactively wake itself up, consult its own memory for context, and execute real work through a direct command line connection, the traditional role of a human software operator simply ceases to exist. This creates a massive economic vacuum. If humans are no longer the ones operating the software, who is going to pay the $50 monthly subscription fee for the dashboard? Y Combinator has identified the business model that will capture this lost revenue. They call it the AI Native Agency. This animated bar chart compares unit economics. The stacked bar represents the old client cost, a small SaaS fee atop a massive financial block for human payroll. The AI-native agency exploits this spread. An agency founder pays for an AI agent to execute the work, selling the outcome to the client. The client drops software and payroll cost entirely, and that double expense shrinks into a single, highly profitable agency fee. Because the primary delivery mechanism is thousands of lines of code rather than human labor, these new service-based agencies can scale their operations dynamically. They achieve the massive, hyper-profitable margins previously reserved only for traditional software companies. As these autonomous workflows move toward 2026, the traditional software interface faces a structural squeeze. Survival now depends on being either the invisible API supplying data to the machine or the agency selling the finished outcome to the client. For developers, building for human clicks is no longer the path to scale.